one of the things that I'm most interested in the woods are the beautiful lichens. Now, this particular tree is kind of fun. It's got the Loberia pulmonaria, which is a fairly common, not very rare species in it. And then if you come down here, you can see that we have got some very beautiful Loberia. Now, it's a different type, isn't it? You can see the back of it. It's nice and white. And then even lower down right here is a very exciting find, yellow specklebelly. It's all on one little tree in the wintertime. Many of us folks that like to go out in the wintertime, but are naturalists and are kind of sad that there's not many species up and about, are finding lichen of more and more interest. This particular tree is a beauty. So if you're someone who lives in Nova Scotia and likes going out in the wintertime and likes a little bit of extra fun with nature, what you want to do is seek out the best spots for lichen and get out into the woods. And you can go out in places you can't go in the summer for several reasons. Number one is all the tangled undergrowth is mostly, gone for the season. Secondly, you can put on your trusty rusty, yes, snowshoes, and you can get anywhere with snowshoes, and you can follow your tracks back to where you started so you don't ever get lost. So that really leaves you the opportunity to just completely wander. You don't need a GPS, you don't need a compass, you don't need to pay attention to anything, because you know that as long as you haven't crossed your tracks, that if you just follow your tracks back, you can find your way back. Now, to hunt the stealthy, interesting lichens, the best places to go are a wet, dampish stream bed, and it can just be a shallow one like the one we found here, that has enough openings to let in quite a little bit of light, and that has a good stock of either red mountain or sugar maples in it. And then you'll find often at least one or two trees, examples that have some great lichen in them. So let's just show you on this particular tree. It's not a big tree. There's my hand. All right, and that's at face level. And here's a wonderful Loberia, and it's not your standard. And if you head further on down the tree, you can see there's more of it, as well as the Loberia pulmonaria. And also even further on down, in this instance, we have got that beautiful yellow specklebelly. So this is a really exciting tree again. And again, you can see there's another. There you go. And again, you can see that it's fairly easy to find these places as long as you know where you're going. I'll tell you, I'm in Cumberland County, near the North Shore, in the woods. And these are wild woods that haven't been thinned and they haven't been sprayed. And another thing to take note of when you're looking for lichens is that the really older trees aren't necessarily the ones that have a lot of the lichen in them. What you look for is a bark that doesn't peel. This particular tree is clearly much bigger. I'll show you with my hand. It's much bigger than the one we saw, but all we've got on this one is the Loberia pulmonaria, which is lovely. But you can see the bark is very flaky and platy, which means that it peels off. Over the years it'll peel off bit by bit, and so you won't get the lichens that need that stable environment to grow. So what you need to look for is maple, yeah, but one that it has a more smooth exterior. Other interesting and beautiful species of lichen in these woods, I call it the Usnea species, which is these witch's beard or Merlin's beard type species, and you'll usually find them in the deep woods, wet, sort of moist woods, growing on balsam fir. So it's not just the maple that have the interesting lichens, but they're mostly on maple, and there's a lot of lichens on balsam fir. You'll see over here, I'm aiming at now a white pine. The species of lichen that grow on a white pine are not nearly as interesting, and that's because the white pine grows very, very quickly. So it's expanding, the bark is expanding all the time, and it's difficult for the species to get a grip on it.